This is Michael Sorich, the voice of Don Kanonji from Bleach. May the spirits be with the CFG Gamecast.
Welcome to the CFG Gamecast, episode number 26, a weekly podcast created by gamers and streamers alike to discuss the latest gaming topics from the previous week. We stream a new episode on the weekend, Saturdays or Sundays, and release it on podcast services like Apple and Google Podcasts, Stitcher Radio, and Podbean. So show us some love and follow us on, or check us out on our website, confreaksandgeeks.com, to not miss an episode. I am Mr. CFG himself, Davis Green, and with me today are two amazing co-hosts that I always like. I have on the second seat, Flexiss, just flexing strong as always. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. Thank you for having me as always. It's wonderful being with beautiful people.
Yes, that's
How
always.
are you doing today?
Oh man, I am going good. I am kind of running a little bit low right now because I've been doing overlays, advertising. I've been even talking to you off the stream on the different ads I've been pushing out. Like I think I've done like 3 or 4 different ads in a short period of time. But yeah, definitely looking forward to it. So anything new, anything coming up that you're wanting to sport out?
Well, obviously my internet's fixed, which is great because that means we've got some good streams coming up this week.
Oh yeah.
So for sure, confirmed streams for this week. Halloween night, I will in fact be doing a stream, not necessarily spooky, but it is going to be starting my training for North American Regionals, which is a big Street Fighter competition. So I'm looking forward to that. In addition, I'll also be hosting my Ladies Night stream that I do every week, where we have a group of women that come together and we all play and practice fighting games together. So definitely looking forward to that.
Awesome. That is so good. I'm going to definitely swing by and check your stuff out. Also check out Flexiss's training vids, or even just in general, when she plays Street Fighter 5, it's always a fun time to just be in the community there. So her Twitch is right there, Flexiss__. And also I got the 5-star general of the itty bitty Smitty committee. I got Smitty in the third seat. What's up, my friend?
What is going on, brother? How are you?
I'm doing good, man. It's good to be alive as always, man. How are you doing?
Doing well. So I had an issue Friday where I passed out and left my stream up for a good 3 hours afterward. I passed out so hard. I went hard in the paint. It was a lot of fun though. Tried to play a little bit of Home Sweet Home. That didn't work out so well. I was too crunked up by that point in time, so that didn't work. But we did get a little COD. I don't even know if I actually played video games, to be honest. I remember doing a lot of talking. Things kind of got blurry for me. It was a good time. I just been playing a lot of Modern Warfare. I gotta say, man, I'm really enjoying that game. It feels good. It feels right. We got a campaign back. That's been nice. So I've just been enjoying playing that and just chilling out, man. I'm excited. Funny. I know that we've got here in a couple of weeks we've got the Extra Life charity 24-hour charity stream down in Arizona that we will be attending, that we will be at and whatnot. So you guys should definitely check that out. There'll be more promotable stuff that we will put up as well. So yeah, it's been good, man.
You just basically took what I was going to say next, but that's pretty funny.
I'm sorry. I realized when I put that up, I realized that you were probably going to talk about that, and I was like, crap. Let me go ahead and get off that.
Well, I'll do it.
Great minds think alike.
I'll do it anyways, but just letting y'all know. But I do want to say on Friday night when you were doing the stream, I was just like, oh, you were installing Call of Duty, but I saw that Call of Duty time it was going to take forever, and then I saw you and I saw your girl, and I was like, man, there is no way he's going to make it by the end of that time, because you were already gone, and that was so funny.
Yeah.
But it was good. No, but
that was me. That was definitely a rare moment for me, that's for sure.
Oh, you gotta check out Smitty's content. It's always, when he does stream and he's playing games and stuff, it's always a good time. So check his stuff out, Smitty2447. And like he said before too, in 2 weeks, November 9th. Normally it would be November 2nd, but because of schedule, we had to move it up another week. So November 9th, we are going to be doing Extra Life for kids. It's a charity event, 24 hours of streaming. We're going to be doing it on this channel, on the CFG Games, so always definitely stop by. We're going to have a set of different kinds of activities for everybody. Our goal is $3,000, so we are currently about a little bit over a quarter of the way now. I think we're almost at 1,300 right now, so thank you for that. And we're definitely going to be everyone, Smitty, Flexiss, the whole CFG Games crew, as well as some other special guests will be there. So definitely stop by and just to have some fun with us. Also donate if you can, $1, $400, $3,000, whatever. But thank you so much. But anyways, let's get down to it. We're done with the upselling. There we go. That'd be better. That's a better way of saying it. So, but anyways, each of us will choose a new topic of discussion within video games from the previous week. The topic would or could be about a specific game or something that happened in the gaming industry itself. And we don't want to just talk about it amongst ourselves. We want the whole the group of people that's listening to it to be a part of the show too. So if you have a question or if you have a statement, don't hesitate to put something inside the chat. Smitty will pick it up, and if it's cool, we're going to put it into our show too, and then we'll give you props on it too. Give yourself a pat on the back when you do. But anyways, you can always do that anytime, and let's get to it. So I guess this is my turn to be number one. I've been waiting. I've been hyping it up. I know some people I've been talking to was wanting to see what the opinions were for this, but let me kind of give a little bit of a picture here. We are all streamers. We are all gamers. And the one thing that we all unanimously agree on is that microtransactions suck inside games, right? Or the level of paywalls suck in the game. I won't say microtransactions itself because it's a huge thing. And with that being said, we thought that the monster of it was EA. And we knew because of their aggressive microtransaction rules that they put in all their games is what made it not fun to or supportive in the gaming community. And we thought, oh, okay, EA, it can't be anything worse that will get as bad as what EA does. Well, kind of happened this week again, but this time it isn't EA. It is it was Bethesda that decided to say, well, we'll see about that. We'll see if we can hit that limit too. So Bethesda, of all people, decided to say, hey, we're going to do a monthly plan for a game that was already kind of was not in a really good light of sources. So Bethesda decided to do a monthly plan for their game Fallout 76. So they pay of either $13 a month for monthly, or a 12-month subscription for $100 for $99. So theoretically, you're paying a little less, but at the same time, you're paying nonetheless. What this did was that this was going to allow a player to it's going to allow you to have a private server with you and maybe, I believe it was 8 of your friends, and give you a private server access to the game, as well as giving you unlimited spots inside your item crate. So this was going to, so they were like, oh, you could do this for a paid service. But guess what? If you don't know Bethesda and their nice rules of gaming, or basically streaming or of game source, it's not working. It doesn't work. It didn't work the way that you were wanting it originally. So basically, there was a bug that they've seen that was eating people's items and equipment that was being put inside the crate. So people were losing those items itself. And as for the private servers, they're not really private. What they basically was saying was that if you were in the person's friends list, they would give you, you would also have access if you were playing Fallout 76 to be a part of their server regardless. They could just go in without you knowing. And to add a little bit of a cherry on top, let's say theoretically the owner of that server decides to leave, it's going to reset everything. So that means that the game that you were playing, that you didn't save on, anyone that was a part of it will not keep that stuff that happened, or the progression that happened. It will be removed. So it's not more like a private server, but more like a private session as for that, which what made it even worse. So and what's even worse about all of this is that it feels that they are punishing the people of their community that decided to stick it through for 76 to with these kind of these weird paywalls that were once free, especially the biggest ones with customize how PC people have customized things that they have, like what you could have done on Skyrim. There was a community in itself that was free that allowed you to do it for free. To be behind one of these kind of levels of paywalls that you have to pay to do the same kind of service. Okay. So that's basically the thing that's happened with it. For me, I was like, you have got to be out of your flipping mind to think that this was going to be this was a good idea. Like, y'all openly thought that this was a good idea. You initially said back last year when 76 first was coming out and you were doing with your PR thing, because we were there for that. You said that the DLC, all these extra features, the update patches and stuff like that was going to be free. Then, not even a year when the game comes out, now you go a full 180 split on a mediocre game, and you're going to tell the people that are keeping the game alive, we're going to put a paywall for you to get these kind of access that doesn't even work. I mean, are you freaking kidding me? I don't even understand. I don't please allow me to understand the way this kind of logic to make me think. Now, I'm going to play a little bit of the devil's advocate here. I'm sorry to kind of stretch out a little bit on this, but I will say I see what you probably are getting at. When I think logically, the games that are coming out soon from Bethesda's side, the next one, if I remember correctly, I could be wrong, is going to be Doom Eternal. And that's got pushed back. So you have probably about a year of nothing. And then yet you're needing to get some sort of outside sources, and that's probably what y'all thought about. But other than that, even if it was, that's on y'all. I mean, you cannot punish the source of a game that's not even mediocre. It's just okay. That kind of deal. What are y'all's thoughts about this? Because I'm kind of getting pissed when I'm thinking about it. I don't even play the game.
All right, I'll take my turn first. So Retro Lag in chat actually made a good point. He said, "I'm telling you, it's because of the money they spent for the game and have yet to make back." I think that's probably why, is because they're losing out more money than they're making than they made from the game. And as somebody who is a diehard Fallout fan, and I played Fallout 3, I played New Vegas, I loved 4, and I always see the positive in the games. Like 76, I even saw the positive in that. Okay, I get that, there's not a ton of lore, this or that, and I'm enjoying it, playing with my friends and having that opportunity. But this, I think, takes it just too far. I think they're trying to milk the money cow that's already dry. And really, we've seen this time and time again with multiple gaming creators, and we're just seeing they don't have the best, or they don't have the gamers' interest in mind. They only have their own pockets and their own investors in mind when they're doing things like this. And so it's very much to they're going back on what they're saying, and it's going to be the ultimate downfall, and we're just going to see a game that's going to continue to fail and fail and fail. And I wouldn't even be surprised if we're going to eventually see that game become free to play, but with microtransactions and paywalls and things like that, because of how much they're already losing out and how severe the lack of funds is, I should say, or the lack of playing is.
Okay, so I'm sorry, before you go, I do agree with what you say, but at the same time, when a game like that is in the cusp of not being fully successful, or it's not successful from what they were coming at, you don't want to be more aggressive about that. The next step would be you make it free to play, then you make it a full microtransaction game. Not to do what they're doing. It feels like they're going backwards on that. It's kind of like if someone, hate to bring back Anthem, but if Anthem decided to say, oh, no, we don't have a game, the game is gone to crap, and then the people that are still making it are still playing the game, they decide to put a paywall, like a $10 paywall, a monthly paywall for what you do have, to to see if they can get more money out of you. It's like, are you freaking kidding me? No, people are going to get pissed about that. You would need to make it free to play, and then pay, say $2 for this or $2 for that or something. Not saying that that's even better as it is, but I guess that would make the best case scenario, I would say, to do it. Okay, I'm sorry, Smitty, what were you going to say?
Yeah, so as far as with Fallout 76, again, I've never even played a full Fallout game. I started playing Fallout 3. However, I remember when talks came out about this, they I know that there were a lot of people that were upset, and I was like, oh, that kind of sounds interesting. It's like, maybe I'll go all in, but like it wasn't like more than a couple of weeks, and I started hearing more stuff about it and seeing more stuff in the news about it, and I was like, this sounds terrible. Like I was like, let me back out of this. And to be honest, and I think I can't. What's the dude's name that Bridges? Not Bridges. Who's the guy that's always on all the conferences and he's the main main dude,
the CEO?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know. I can pull his name up, but you can continue on. I'll let you know.
Yeah. Whatever his name is. I mean, there was an interview where he was basically talking about, we realized that we released a subpar game, this and that. It's like literally they just threw out this trash game. I don't know why, but then they're coming in with these insults to injuries. They said, we're going to come back on the back end. Like they made all these changes. Then they said, we're going to come back on the back end, give you a paywall to be able to play this game that is already struggling to hold an audience, and the people that have stuck with it, I mean, what a slap in the face to them. Yeah. Like for real, dude. Like what a slap in the face to them. I would be so pissed. I would just be, you know what I mean? It's like I'd be like, I can no longer support this. Like you guys have crapped all over your fan base. You basically admitted to putting out a subpar game, and then you're gonna throw extra transactions and this and that, and then you got some weird bugs. You got weird bugs in the game. It's like, what do you like? To me, it's disrespectful, and really the only way to hurt companies that are doing things like this is it's by getting their pockets and attacking their pockets and not purchasing their games and making them go back and rethink how they're going about stuff. But I mean, this to me is insulting to a whole fan base. And again, I'm not really a Fallout. I haven't really played them, but I know that they have a pretty big fan base, and it just seems like a slap in the face to me.
Oh, you're right. Newbie Juan Kenobi did say it was Todd Howard is what you were talking about. So yeah.
Yep.
No, yeah, you're totally right. But I just think at a realistic level, we're never going to get to something to that level because there's too many gamers out there. There's too many people that are buying games for their kids. I'm not saying it's a bad thing. I'm just saying that's what it is. But it's just that like, and especially the name alone. I mean, look at Star Wars. Star Wars has probably been the worst IP that has gotten screwed out of anything throughout its time with EA. It's just that the name carries weight in itself in its name. That people, it doesn't matter what kind of game you're getting out of it. It's a Star Wars game, and people are curious. Even for the small bit of the Fallen Order, I'm definitely getting that game, but I'm not getting it day one because I'm more worried about like how EA is going to be like how strong what we're going to expect from an EA game. Even though this is the people that made Apex Legends and stuff, but like overall, I just think that like I think the most angriest thing that makes me mad, and it's funny because I'm too. I've only played maybe 2 hours at max of Fallout 76, and I was like, nope, I'd rather play an individual story from it. But the thing that really just makes me angry about this is the fact that you made a plan to do a paid service, and then the service that you're giving people is utter crap. Like, I mean, like you can't even get your servers working correctly. I mean, that is the most important thing that you got to do. Like for a game that is dependent on internet connection, and you're telling me that you can't even get your servers in order to make only 8 private people on your deal to do that, and then you can't do that? Are you joking? Like, there's no excuse. There's absolutely no excuse on this. Like, this is the worst. This is literally the worst thing that I've ever seen a company have done to roll out on itself, to just say, oh, we need your money, but here's the service, and try to justify it. Like they need, and they have been silent for this long time, this whole time about this. They just let this roll out. I'm assuming there's going to be something, but still, I mean, I'm sorry. This is just amazing to me that this has gone out. Just wow. I mean,
it doesn't surprise me anymore, man.
I was going to say, we can talk too about, obviously there's multiple fans that are outraged, and there was even one guy, I don't remember his name, but it was a gentleman that bought one of their domains for, I believe I read the article, and it said $27. He bought one of Fallout's domains that Fallout was going to use for some future content for that service. And he said that he's not going to get it. He's more than happy to give up the domain, but only if he has the opportunity to sit down with the creator, the creative director, the creator or something of the game to discuss discuss the direction of where it's going and where it can improve, and what the fan base is experiencing because of it. So I thought that was funny, because clearly we're the three of us aren't the only ones outraged by this. There's people that are across the states, and I'm sure the world, that are also feeling the impact of Bethesda's decision. And it's so much to a point where this guy bought a domain right out from underneath the noses of Bethesda.
Yeah, I have to give a prop on that. Yeah. No, you're totally right. What's even weird to me is that funny. Oh no, you're totally right. And what's weird to me is that usually when companies have these kind of plans that they're going to roll out, they do this months in advance, and it just feels like this whole thing that was implemented with Bethesda just feels like this was something that was just woken up Saturday morning. Someone was maybe waking up, maybe making breakfast, and just said, "Hey, I wonder if we're just going to do a paid service. I wonder what we could put in that paid service. Oh, these two things. Okay, let's just get that done on Monday." And then for the guy to do this, which I have to give props to that dude, that to just to have the foresight to say that this was going to be just a total crap show. That I was like, man, that is major props to you on that, and just beat it to the punch first on that. Even the title log, when they call it Fallout 76 first, that doesn't even make sense to me. It's like, what is that? What is that supposed to mean? Yeah. So, but anyways, no, you're totally right. Because and I would suggest, let me see if I can. I think we should link that website, that webpage, because that is it's funny about how the guy pretty much put out the good the full rage about what the community is experiencing on this. So I will I'll definitely do this. Let me see if I can find it. And then it was legit. Let me see. I don't know. I'll find it. Yeah, I'll find it later, and we'll post it. I'll post the link inside the chat. But if y'all need to do it, and it's funny because I know, like I said, I am not a part of the community, and I feel that I feel the anger. I am just more angry on the fact that they let this happen. As a gamer, or just in general, just I don't like it when people get screwed. And if someone did buy that, that's on them. I mean, if that person that did get it, that is definitely on them to think otherwise on it. But this makes me to a point where it's I don't know if I want to get Bethesda's IP title. We've already know that Obsidian did a great job with the Other Worlds. That is just an amazing world. I would definitely suggest, if you love those old school Fallout games, to get that game, because they've done a lot of things perfect on that. But man, I don't know. I don't know about this anymore. This totally puts a bad taste in my mouth for if Elder Scrolls 6 ever comes out, So I don't know, but we'll see. I know it's 25 minutes in. Let's stop. let's stop on this kind of deal with this. But thanks for the conversation on that. Smitty, let's go with you. You're the second one. What do you have to bring to the table?
Yay, we are going with me. So I knew this was coming, and I think I talked about this here a little while ago. But it has officially been leaked as of today that Overwatch 2 is going to be a thing. It's going to be announced at BlizzCon this coming up weekend. I knew this was coming, and there's some details about it because it seemed weird to me. I was like, well, why would you bring this out now? Your Overwatch is still pretty popular. There's a competitive scene. Everything is cool as far as with that. But this one, they're saying that this one is going to focus more on the PvE experience with new game modes, maps, heroes, PvE features, and revised hero abilities. So I'm curious about what that means. I've heard something about it possibly being like a prequel to Overwatch, because there's some talks about young Genji and whatnot, but I am super pumped about this. I think this is, and if you play any kind of Overwatch, I know that I really enjoy the lore and the PvE stuff that we have gotten to play so far. So I'm excited to see them expand. This is what the logo I believe is supposed to look like and whatnot. But I'm excited to see them kind of expand and get deeper into the lore. And give players a different experience other than just the MOBA-esque PvP. So I think this is going to be hot. I've been waiting for this. I'm excited for the official announcement, which should come this weekend over at BlizzCon. But I'm excited to see exactly what it entails. I read an article as well, and I believe that they are going to be. I think the Hero 32 is said something about Hero 32 is going to be Echo, which we were introduced when we met Ash. So that's super exciting. I can't wait to see. Is she going to be defense? Is she going to be DPS? Tanky? I don't know. So I'm excited. It's always nice to get those new characters and then see how they actually play into the whole storyline and into the lore of that world. So Overwatch 2, it looks like it is like legit going to be a thing. So we'll have to see exactly what it's all about. We'll find out this coming up weekend. What are your guys' thoughts on that? Is it something you guys are interested in? Something you might pick up?
I'm sorry. You go for it, Flex. You're more Overwatch than I am.
Oh, so I'm gonna start by saying one thing. Overwatch is my favorite video game. Out of all the video games I could experience, even Street Fighter, Overwatch is my favorite video game. So I've been very hype about this for quite a while, especially when they were dropping little hints and stuff like that. And part of why I love the game is because I love how rich, or like how much lore the game has. It's rich with lore and characters and the background of these characters and stuff like that. And it really develops like a world that's so intricate, and that's part of why I'm really excited for the idea of Overwatch 2 having PvE. I'd love to see some kind of RPG-esque like storyline take place where we could really delve into that lore a lot more, and we can get to know the characters. And I'm excited for it. I really am. I can only hope for the best. Expect the worst, hope for the best kind of deal. But I think it's an interesting take because you're still going to have your competitive scene with the first Overwatch. You're still going to have Overwatch League. It doesn't take away from the first game. I feel like it's just like an add-on almost to it. It's a different game mode in itself.
Okay.
But
is
if
it more story oriented?
Create enough content for it, then I can understand why it's worth making a second game.
Is it more okay? So you said this was more PvE, right? So is this more story oriented? This isn't more like how arena based the first one was, but more like they're going to just push more on the background story of the game.
That's my understanding, and it's gonna be focused more on the PvE game modes and things like that. There is gonna be PvP in it, but I don't know if it's gonna be like your traditional what Overwatch is. It might be a different form of PvP. They also announced too that they were looking at I can't remember. I gotta look for it. But there's also gonna be a new game mode that is introduced into normal Overwatch here this weekend as well. So I'm curious to see what that's all about.
I mean, just like I will say, I don't play a lot of Overwatch. When I did play it, I thought it was a fun game. I definitely do. If they're gonna add, and I know the thing that really makes Overwatch different than other arena based games, because this kind of Overwatch kind of reminds me so much of what's it called, the Team Fortress. That's what it reminds me of.
Team Fortress 2.
Yeah, Team Fortress and Team Fortress 2, and I loved playing those games too. But like, the big thing that keeps them really apart is its story. Like, I never really thought that there was a big. Personally, I never thought there was a big deal of Overwatch's story. Like, I know how in depth it is, but you don't need to know the story of anything really to not enjoy the game. And for me, like, if there's a good story that's going to come up behind it, and even amongst all the issues that Blizzard is currently having with, like, with the backstories and stuff that's happening for their IPs and stuff, they know how to make they still definitely know how to make a good story. But that kind of does give me a little bit of interest in it, and makes me I do want to try it. I think the idea of them to pursue more of their backstory is a really good move for the series as a whole, because I know Overwatch originally was an accident. It wasn't this was supposed to be the replacement of supposed to be an MMO push with for the thing that was supposed to be the replacement for WoW originally. That's why the engine was made. But so, like, for him to be its own, make a whole stand on its own, and for them to push more on the lore of the story, between the two different factions that were introduced, I mean, that's more power to them. I just really want to know how they're going to implement it. The big questions are, like, is it going to be, like, how the style? It makes me kind of hyped to see what style they're going to go with. If it's going to be co-op story, the different kinds of modes. So yeah, we'll see. I guess we'll have to wait till BlizzCon and see what's going to happen.
Yeah, we'll find out next weekend.
It's exciting.
Yeah, were you all planning on going to BlizzCon or at all? Oh no.
No.
I don't know.
Yeah,
well, dude,
no, I didn't even know when it was, which I feel bad because you think I would. No, I'm going to a concert.
I think because it's funny, because last year at BlizzCon, isn't that when they announced what was it, Diablo Immortals? Is that what the Immortals?
Oh,
like the big announcement, the mobile one.
That was so bad.
Yeah, and everybody was like really salty about it.
I love the question. The guy,
rightfully so. Yeah. I think. Hopefully they learn their lesson from that and don't try to shove something down people's throats that they don't really want. You know what I mean?
I have no problem for them to say Diablo. If they wanted to make a Diablo on the mobile game, let them do it. But the way they put it on the crowd is just a total disconnection between your fans and your so-and-so. You could have just easily have just released it on mobile, and no one would have been, oh, cool, you released Diablo on mobile, and then no one would have cared. But you decided to put it as one of, like, a pillar of it's like your major event to people who don't care about mobile, and then just say, okay, hey, look at this, guys, we got the same game, but this time it's going to be on mobile. You can play it on your phone, and everyone's like, what? Like, who cares? You know? Yeah. I mean, come on. But I don't know.
That was crazy. That was crazy how they thought that was going to play off well. In any scenario.
You know what?
It just doesn't, dude. Like, it just doesn't. And not only that, but then you save that for the last thing to talk about.
Oh, yeah.
Get out of my face, dude.
Yeah.
That's supposed to be the big reveal, and that's what you got for me? Like, come on, man.
I love that. Everyone was so hyped. They were thinking Diablo 4. I was hoping Diablo 4. I was hoping for so much of that stuff, but especially when they were pushing all of this. And then they were like, oh, you know about Diablo, the game that everyone's been wanting to play and still waiting for updates on Diablo 3. Yeah, guess what? You can play Diablo, but this time mobile for. It's like, okay. It would have been better if they said, hey, we got Diablo. It's back in POG form, if anyone remembers that. So, right. I mean, come on. Jeez, man. I don't know. But we'll see. If they do the same thing with Overwatch 2, that would be hilarious. It will be like, hey, Overwatch 2, you can play on iOS and on your Apple phone now.
Right.
Oh, my.
So salty.
Oh, man. I can't wait till that day comes, Smitty, when that happens.
I mean, I thought it was kind of weird that that they did. I mean, it's not weird, I guess, but like I have no like Overwatch for Switch. Like, I have no desire to even try that out. That seems like it would feel weird. I mean, I guess if you had the controller and stuff like that, it would be fine. But it's like, nah, I'm good on that. We'll see. We'll see what they do, with the Overwatch 2. It's exciting. I can't wait to see it. That's the thing that I'm excited about. as far as with that at BlizzCon. It's just getting more details, getting some legit details.
Swag
when
might
it'll be coming out, hopefully we'll get that information.
Yeah, Swagmite 3000
Yeah,
says,
I'm looking forward to the announcement.
Oh yeah, Swagmite 3000 says I've waited 5 years for Diablo sequel. They need to bring crossplay, and I definitely agree. Crossplay is a big one. But as for Diablo, yeah, I don't know what the heck y'all are on with it of just pushing back. There is a 4. I am pretty convinced because I mean, Activision or what's called Blizzard does keep a really good eye on their fans towards it. There has to be some sort of level of development. Last year there was a last minute decision on a new area inside BlizzCon to not be used because people were anticipating it to be the announcement of Diablo 4. I could neither confirm or deny if there was and I don't want to say that it's a possibility, but it could have been there. You know, I don't know, but they have to be making something like that. 5 years on that in that IP is just crazy. I mean, but we are kind of diverting, but still.
I think I think you're right though, dude. I think that's something that people are anticipating them talking about this year is Diablo 4.
Yeah.
So I think and I think you're right though. From last year, I think that was something that they originally wanted to talk about, but then I don't know, something must not have been ready. And they pulled it. I think they pulled it last minute. Because there's no way, dude. There's no way the mobile thing was supposed to be the last thing that they were talking about. You know what I mean? These people aren't stupid. They know how this stuff works, and you always save the best for last. You know it. And if you're listening to what your fan base is saying and whatnot, something must have gone, wrong for them to have to last minute pull it, and then whoever made the decision to make
Diablo
the mobile game the last thing.
That's another thing though too.
Oh man, that's a resume generator.
Well, here's another thing. Like, is Diablo Immortal even out? Like, that's the one. Like, I want to know. Like, was it worth it? Like, can you get it online? I don't even know. I don't even check in the game section on the deal.
I think I forgot about it after they announced it.
Yeah,
because that's how unimpressionable it was.
It was completely unimpressionable.
Not only that, but then they said, "Well, everybody's got a phone." Yeah, well, that doesn't mean I want to play games on it. Get out of my face, dude.
You forgot the second part of that answer of what you just said. It's like, yeah, you're right. Everyone does have a phone. You know what? Everyone also has a lot of things that they use for particular things, but they don't use them every day for something completely different. We could do it for this, but we don't have to. I mean, Jesus. Anyways, I don't know. It's like we're talking to like a child with that kind of logic. It's so ridiculous. All right, that's cool. We're looking forward to Overwatch 2. I think we can all unanimously agree with that. I'm not as hyped with both of y'all, but I do. I mean, we are. The hype is there, though, right?
It is.
Yeah, absolutely.
If we do, we all got to play.
Oh hell yeah!
And and then maybe try to convince Smitty to do it on Stadia. But anyways, let's go with Flexiss.
All right.
Let's go with Flexiss. What do you have on the table?
I'll move us on along.
Okay.
All right.
Here we go.
So we're all familiar with toxic people in online gaming, regardless of what game you play or what community you're from. Now, what if I told you that there could be an artificial intelligence that would be able to determine and potentially ban toxic players? That is just what a team did. The AI called Minerva, and it's built by a team at online gaming platform Faceit, which organized 2018 CSGO London Major, in collaboration with Google Cloud and Jigsaw, a Google tech incubator. Minerva started examining CSGO chat messages around August, and in the first month and a half marked 7 million messages as toxic, issued 90,000 warnings, and banned 20,000 players.
Jesus.
In retrospect, this may not seem like a significant amount considering there are over 640,000 people still playing CSGO regularly. However, the number of toxic messages reduced from 20% between August and September while the AI was in use, and the number of unique players sending toxic messages dropped by 8%. With such drastic improvements in gameplay, I'm curious, do you guys foresee this activity implemented in other games in the future? And if so, what games do you suspect will I don't want to say succumb to to Minerva, but would have a similar implementation, because we all know like toxicity is the cancer of many gaming communities.
Mhm.
And of course, there's one thing when you're trolling and you're goofing around and you're smack talking and stuff like that, but it's another thing when you're purely being toxic. So I clearly we're seeing an improvement in the gameplay for CS:GO, but I'm curious to see if other gaming companies and other major games are going to implement something similar, if not implement the same thing. So I want to know what you guys think and what games you think might need this implementation.
Every FPS.
Every FPS is like, yeah. I would say it's League of Legends would probably shut that game down if that was the case. But man, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know if I like the idea of AI. I feel like it is definitely of like, you know, like what is it constituting as like toxic is where it comes to.
Yeah.
Like if they can
there needs to be some transparency as far as with that, just to see, you know what I mean, what on the back end, what does it look like? How is it differentiating, you know what I mean, somebody that's being toxic and somebody that's just dicking around with their friend or something like that, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I could see it being a thing though, especially with the success of it. I know that you know, the toxic communities, especially in these games, in a lot of online games, you know what I mean, you have that. So it'd be kind of nice to see some of that added protection.
I would love that.
But again, you know that there's going to be some negatives and some drawbacks. We just don't know what that looks like quite yet.
I think,
absolutely. And I mean, Oh, sorry. What were you gonna say?
What were you gonna say, Flexiss?
Oh, I was gonna say, you know, this was just implemented 2 months ago, and we've only seen it occur for about a month and a half, and so we're not seeing like the true effects and the true drawbacks yet. It's kind of almost like in a testing ground. But I'm curious, you know, like you guys said, what the criteria is for what they're deeming as toxic. You know, is it certain words or phrases? Is it reports? Is it like the way that they act within multiple games? Like, are they going idle in multiple games? Are they, you know, getting reported a bunch, so on and so forth? So I'm definitely really curious to see what their criteria is deemed as toxic.
Right. And I mean, like, I want to know by understanding, since this is an algorithm essentially that's really proving all of this. And like situationally, like let's say me and Smitty decides to play a game of not Call of Duty, but of Overwatch. Doesn't matter even if it's Call of Duty or not. But and then we have a way of talking to each other that could seem on the outside as toxic, but it could be playful.
Yeah.
Now, could that also count against you? Like what Smitty says, there needs to be a source of transparency towards what they're talking about when it comes to that kind of to that thing, because it's never white or black. There's always a gray, and that's where you're wanting to know, like, yeah, you're right. But like some of these people, like I would say specifically, I mean, like just completely derogatory, or just because you already know how to. Everyone who's a gamer or have played online will understand that there's that one person that it's never their fault. It's got to be one of their teammates' fault, and then they make it a living hell for them to be like, you know, wanting to play the game. In those senses, yeah, I can easily understand what. I hope that it can catch that easily, but like, yeah, I would need more proof than just the 2 months itself from something like that. The idea is amazing. I would love that, because like nowadays when I play online, I don't play with. If I ever do play on a group, I don't even go on their voice chat. At all, because I already
exactly
because like I just said, okay, it's like if I don't know you, I don't know like the kind of person, and then if that person's either, I mean, even if the person's like, you know, totally like, there's those times when you're playing a game and they're like the first thing they say is, I'm so wasted, or I'm so drunk I don't even know what I'm doing and stuff like that. It's just like, you know, it's like I don't care if you are, that's on you. But I just want to play the game just to either ease off stress, and then and let's do it. So that if the way to ease off stress is not listening to random talking like that, so be it, you know.
Yeah, I guess like the big thing for me is again understanding the criteria, and I work in IT and I have a pretty general knowledge of like it's a general consensus that AI is not perfect. AI is actually really stupid, and that's why you need human intervention involved with AI. So I'm curious what the ratio is if they're like if they have somebody who's fact checking or checking through to ensure that this AI is working as it should and it's correcting the behaviors that it should appropriately. I'm curious how again, it comes down to what are they measuring, how are they measuring it, and what are the outliers, what are the things that they're including versus excluding.
Yeah.
So that's kind of my thought process, and I think that would be the follow-up questions like with this. But I think overall I'm more supportive of it because it's a good implementation of upcoming technology versus, like the mass reporting and stuff like that. And that's the thing too is like people will report other players in a toxic way as well because they'll say, "Oh, this player was being toxic," when in
Right.
actuality they're only doing it to get the other player in trouble, even though that player may not be doing anything.
Yeah.
So, I'm curious. Like, obviously, I feel like it was implemented to kind of alleviate the team that has to go through the reporting and has to go through all the cases and so forth.
Yeah.
So
I just think that
and sorry, real quick, Goat Manish from the chat says this AI only looks at chat messages, so text. If it went to voice chat, likely they'd be using behavioral analytics on it, which is a large part of my job. Something I'm qualified to talk about, which would be listening to tone and spacing in conjunction with words. I think it's a good first step. I think all of us as gamers know that it's a very real thing. I think an unsuccessful campaign at was I don't know if you guys remember the Bully Hunters thing and whatnot, but that was an attempt.
What is the Bully Hunters?
Look, I mean, I don't know what the hell that was, to be honest. But it was originally supposed to be an attempt to kind of fight online bullying, but it morphed and changed very quickly. However, I'm glad that it's something that people are looking at. They're trying to tackle it. You know what I mean? And I think you're right. It does give that relief to that team of people that are having to go through reports and stuff like that. They have a little complimentary system then that would go in and do something about it. But yeah, for me, it's definitely a step in the right direction, and I can support that. Obviously, it's not proven yet. They're still building it out, and it's very much in a test phase, it sounds like. But think here in a couple years, that could be, you know what I mean? Like that could be implemented in every game that comes out. I think it's a great idea.
It's GameSpy 2.0. It's going to come out. It's going to come back out as its own individual server, just to be like all it's going to do is that's all it does is just you're trolling too much. You're going to get banned. So so I guess they're using Counter-Strike as like a test as a like a petri dish to test this out on text-based chats to see how good it does to ban. And that's what's happening right now. Just wanted to be sure. Okay. Wow. That is.
From my understanding, yeah.
Okay. That is so crazy. And by the way, I am interested in this Bully Hunter. So if anyone knows that inside the chat, please put it down. And when we're done, I would love to read it because
Do you not know that? Do you not know that whole shit, dude?
I don't know. I'm surprised I don't know this.
Man.
How long ago was this?
Swear jar.
Oh, dude, I got deep within that. 'Cause I remember seeing it. This is when I still worked at the station, and I remember seeing something about it. And I was like, oh, that's a great idea. You know what I mean? I was like, let me go and do a little research and look, and went on to Twitter. And man, I gotta say, it completely imploded. That might be because I'm not, you know what I mean. I'm not trying to spill any tea or anything, but yeah, there are names and people and stuff.
Ooh,
that's definitely a conversation we should have, though.
Okay, yeah, definitely. But that sounds awesome. But man, okay, but yeah, I mean, I think I agree. This is definitely a good first step. This is definitely that is well needed. It sucks to say that it is needed, but dude, you just can't assume that people have the same kind of intentions that you do when you're playing these games. Some people are loving the troll. Some people really love the docs. So I can easily easily understand the need of this kind of technology. But the big thing is that they got to be people just have to be transparent about it, because if you're not,
Oh, absolutely.
yeah, because they're like, to have that kind of level of power to do this what it's needing to be done, you can't put your whole faith in a computer algorithm to do it. And eventually it is text, but eventually it will try the next step. The next logical step is going to be chatting, like voice chat and different kinds of things like that. So yeah, I'm totally for it. And it seems, though, like you said, with the numerical data that you had, what you said, 600,000 people actively playing Counter-Strike, and out of the 600,000, they gave out about 100,000 on the warning, and out of the 100,000, 20,000 on the ban. It seems just, I don't know it's impossible to know case by case, but it seems like that's pretty fair. Fair, like size wise, it's not that much relatively. Out of the 600,000, the people had their chances, and then they still got banned. I'm assuming there's going to be those weird ones that'll be like, hey, I didn't mean it by that way. There's always going to be some sort of level of mistake, but
Yeah.
it seems very fair for the most part, just by that. But off of the surface, but we'll see. But yeah, we'll definitely see. I think that'll be cool technology. Well, what about you, Flexiss? Was there a game specifically in mind that you think that would definitely need this?
All right. So when I think of like game chat and things like that, and I think of games that really need it, I think of League of Legends.
Oh yeah, that's what I said. Yep,
because League is known, it's notorious for toxic game chat and toxic gameplay. So I would say the next step, or the next community I'd like to see this implemented with, would be something like League of Legends, because League of Legends is primarily all like text-based. Sorry, I'm playing with my hair clip. It's all text-based chat for the most part, and so that would be the next step I'd like to see, is something implemented similar to that. And I mean, again, drawing back the numbers, like 7 million messages were considered toxic in the span of a month and a half. But out of those 7 million messages, only 90,000 warnings were submitted, and only 20,000 players were banned. So it kind of shows you that, like, they are meticulous in determining who's getting a warning and who's getting banned. So it's not like you're just getting banned outright. You're not getting Thanos snapped out of a game's existence.
Right.
You're given the opportunity to correct your behavior, and I'm sure they have ways and implementations to argue a case if it like unfairly deems you as being toxic. So, but again, that comes back to the whole point, in case that, well, what is this engine determining to be toxic? What is it determining to what are the criteria?
Parameters, yeah.
But yeah, I think League of Legends would be the next good option.
Shoot, League of Legends,
Right.
League of Legends in general, I just even imagine, like, they say that's a good ratio, but I think once it hits League of Legends, we're going to see like maybe 80% of the fan base just disappear for a brief moment. That's just going to end up happening.
Oh no!
Yeah, it is such a bad, man. Like, I remember when I tried playing it so long ago, I was like, okay, I just started playing it, and then you had to play. I think it was like 5 or 10 matches with bots and stuff, and then like the second that you go and meet a new player, they are expecting you to know everything about like what you're doing, and then it's like it's like, I don't know, man. I literally just picked this up last week. Give me some place to breathe, and then you make a mistake, and you're not going to hear the end of it until the end of the match and stuff. So no, yeah, I
hate playing games like that.
Yeah,
that
game was done. I tried to play for a good 6 or 7 months. I didn't play ranked because I just didn't feel confident on my skill, but no, League of Legends is definitely in need of something like that. So, but that's cool. All right, man, that was a great episode, guys. I definitely appreciate that, as always. And we're going to stop it from here. So you can always watch. This is episode 26 of CFG Gamecast. We're going to be showing it off on podcast services tomorrow. But in the meantime, Flexiss, is there anything you're wanting to? Are you going to be streaming anything this week that you want to let people know about?
So you can catch me on stream for sure tomorrow. I'll be doing my ladies' night. You can catch me at twitch.tv/Flexiss___. So ladies' night tomorrow at 6 p.m. And then you will see me Halloween, which is in a couple days here. I'll be doing a training stream with the lovely Peach on. So you'll catch me there, and just wait. You can obviously catch me at my stream, and you can also see the announcements on my Twitter. And for Twitter, it's just Flexiss.
Awesome. And Smitty, what are you up to this week?
Not much. I was thinking about streaming after this, but I'm probably just gonna play games. I'm still a little rough, so I'm probably just gonna rest it out. And then the Extra Life down in Arizona. I'm excited to get down there, hang out with you guys IRL, and raise some money for the kids.
For the kids. Yeah. They need to make a hashtag for that. Hashtag for the kids with like 5 eyes, maybe with E's. I don't know. That would be nice. That would be nice. Oh man! All right, great, good deal, Smitty. And then also you can always check us out, CFG Games. We are a variety streamer with a group of other people, so it's not just me. It's also another set of like really awesome dudes like Vin, aka Lucentai. He's just in the chat, as well as Wilbo64, and also we have a giant crew of reviewers on our site. So 2 things: you can check either our website, confreaksandgeeks.com. We do a lot of different gaming reviews. We go to a lot of different conventions, and we do a lot of different kinds of awesome interviews. So check us out on that website. And also CFG Games. Today I am going to be playing the HD remaster of Ghostbusters in about an hour or two. Yeah, so so definitely check us out a little bit later on that, because I am if no one knows me, I am a huge Ghostbusters fan. I love the game when it came out on the PS3, and I am going to play it again because I need to platinum that son of a gun. So we'll see. So definitely check us out. Everyone, I thank you for coming by. Thank you for being a part of the conversation, and we will see you later. So y'all have a great night.